high-tempo, up-tempo offense for Tennessee. How important is it for you guys to set the tone and kind of make them adjust to your style of play and your tempo?
Yeah, well, we know we need to finish our drives, obvious downs, third down situations, we got to stay on the field, give our defense a chance, get some recovery on the sideline, but more importantly, time of possession is going to be huge in this game, and I think the most important thing for us as an offense is just executing.
Fourth quarter really you guys seem to finally find a rhythm. Is that just a matter of all new pieces finally coming together and it took you 3 quarters to kind of figure it all out, or was there something else that, that went on that kind of everything kind of started clicking in that fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the difference between offense and defense is defense, really only one guy has to make a play. Offense, all 11 have to do their job for the play to work. And, we weren't doing that first 3 quarters, really. I mean, it'd be like 10 guys, some communication stuff up front, but we weren't executing at the level necessary to have the success that we know we can have. And, this week it's really just coming down to preparation, and then obviously when you're out there on the field, it's all about strain.
Watching Casey do Casey things is fun, but as an offensive lineman, how much better was it watching the running game get going in that?
Yeah, obviously your offensive lineman, you want to run the ball at a high level. Seeing Jordan break that big one at the end of the game really kind of put the stamp on the game, but we need to do that 4 quarters as an offense. We need to have 4-quarter football and not just show up late in the game. We need to set the tone early.
Tennessee has some big defensive tackles in there. What are your impressions of the guys you're going to be lined up against?
Yeah, they have a bunch of good football players. They have a lot of depth. They have a lot of guys that can play at a high level. For us, that's just been film work and making sure our scout team gives a good look this week because we have a good opponent. So just making sure we're fully prepared for the moment and then executing in that moment.
This first time in New Jersey, just how would you assess your performance overall?
I think I can play a lot better. I think that all starts with me, just making sure communication, we're all on the same page. Obviously, it was my first game playing with those guys, but I know once we really get in our rhythm, it's gonna be different. And the guys next to me are awesome, great football players, easy to play with, make my job easier, and I'm looking forward to this game.
How important is it to kind of get those first game jitters out of your system and now be able to focus fully on the week 2 against Tennessee?
Yeah, I mean, obviously first game is going to be a little different for everyone. We're now battle tested. Obviously we had to come back in the fourth quarter, and really hoping that launched us in the next game so we can bring it all game instead of wait until the end of the game to put it together.
What's the level of urgency been in practice this week, given kind of the lesson learned? Like, hey, we gotta lock in from stat number 1.
We've been extremely urgent, correct our issues, but really our message this week's been all about focus, making sure we're focused going into this game, and like I said earlier, you're gonna have it's gonna be a big time game. We're gonna have big moments, and it's all about us just executing in that moment.
Talking to Anthony Belton yesterday, a lot of talk about like, hey, we got to go out and beat a lot happen against a big SEC opponent, national stage. But he's playing on the guys on his left and right. What's it like for y'all on this offensive line, just one day able to play for each other?
Yeah, the biggest thing about being an O-lineman is being 5 as 1, because if one guy messes up, the whole play is dead. So that all starts with me, communication-wise, and then making sure we're using our technique, playing together. And then obviously every good offensive line has to finish blocks, and that's something that we're looking to do at a higher level each week we play.
Also asked him yesterday about how do you balance playing really hard and blocking really effectively and still being cognizant of not getting a penalty like he did.
Yeah. That's just being smart. Obviously you want to play mean, finish every block, but once the whistle's blown, the play's over. You got to stop no matter what you're doing. But yeah, obviously offensive linemen take pride in finishing blocks, and so do we. So.
Saw Jordan Waters kind of get the ball rolling there in the fourth quarter. Hollywood Smothers also getting some good runs in there. RB, just how cool is it to see both of those guys start to get rolling?
Yeah, it's great. Running the ball well means a lot to the offensive line because you got to be the one that displaced the defender. And Jordan getting that second touchdown, that breakthrough touchdown was awesome. But also seeing young man Hollywood Smothers get out there, he's going to be a really special player. I love that guy, great teammate. and watching him shine has really been awesome. So.
I know y'all always say, it's just another game, but realistically, you have a lot of teammates from the Charlotte area. How special is it, to play for them as they get to be back home again?
Yeah, I mean, more importantly, they play for NC State though, so they got to represent NC State. Obviously, going home, you're gonna have more family, friends at the game. But at the end of the day, they're playing for NC State, and we got to represent our team well for our fans, and we owe it to ourselves too.
I don't know if you've been asked this, sir, but the running game, it kind of exploded there in the fourth quarter. Y'all take great pride in that, seeing that chip away, and then finally killed it all.
Yeah, I think we do, but I know we're urgent to fix the issues that I think we had some glaring issues. I think it starts with communication, and I think once we can do what we did in the fourth quarter, all 4 quarters, it's going to be a really fun year. And this offense is going to see a lot more success, but I think it all starts up front with the offensive line.
I'm sure you saw all 3 4th and 1s or 4th and shorts. What did you see that you guys did well, or what can you get better at as a group?
Yeah, it all starts with assignment, making sure we're all on the same page, and then obviously short yard situation is different than normal down the distance. You got to get lower pads, maybe tighten your split a little bit. You got to strain extra hard to get that 1 yard, and we didn't do that at a high enough level on Thursday. And that starts with the O-line. That starts with making sure you're prepared going into that week. And I think we're doing a better job this week, making sure we're prepared in that moment so that doesn't happen.
How many Saturdays that you have off? How did you enjoy your Saturday?
It was great. I literally sat on my couch for 11 hours and watched football all day, so that's
what
definitely
games
nice.
Did you watch?
I had like a quad screen going all day, so I watched literally pretty much every game. So.
You've played against with some really talented tackles in your career. Anthony Belton's obviously one of them. What makes him a special football player?
Yeah, obviously he's a really big guy, but more than that, watching him pass set at how big he is like you just kind of whoa, like a guy that big shouldn't be able to move like that. And not only that, but he can be really explosive. And there's a few times last week where he kind of just flat backed the guy and landed on him. Like I'm surprised he didn't crush some ribs when he did that. But he's really special, talented guy, and when he's playing at his best, look out because he's a real good ball player. So.
Was there a moment with Anthony when you first came here? It's like where you saw him make a great play like that. I was like, oh, that's why they call him Escalade.
I think just being around him, because obviously you're average human. I'm a large guy, but he makes me look like a middle schooler. But I think definitely just watching some of those pass sets, like watching how quick his feet are, and kind of remind me like The Blind Side. Just like, oh, Sandra Bullock says his feet are quicker than a hiccup. I think that's kind of what AB is. So.
Speaking of big dudes, you're going up against some big dudes this week. Your thoughts until the season starts?
Yeah, they have a really solid front. They have a lot of depth. They have a lot of guys that can play good football. And, we never are going to go into a week underprepared or, you always got to respect your opponent and make sure you play your best football. And, they got a good defense. So we have our hands full this week in preparation. And I think the most important thing is making sure we're communicating well, we're on the same page. And then when we're doing scout stuff this week, our scout team's giving a good look. So.
Do you see this as a unique opportunity or just one opportunity out of 12? How do you value this game?
Yeah, obviously it's a unique opportunity. We're going playing at NFL Stadium. We're going, we're the home team, but it's not in Carter Finley. So obviously it's a little different. Night game, all of the above. But we play Tennessee, and it's NC State versus Tennessee, and we just got to handle business.
Thank you.
Thank you for your